Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nashtaprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Vindaya Namo Namo Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Shunyavadi Pashatya Veshadarine Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Today, Prabhuji gave me an opportunity to discuss about the 14th the 14th shloka of Kunti Maharani's prayers. It is text 31 of 8th chapter. So my reference for this is Prabhupada's lecture that happened in LA, the same source where most of us are doing. And it is exactly somewhat written in the book also, Teachings of Kunti Maharani. I tried to listen to other Prabhus also, but most of the content is by, I'm trying to mimic, trying to pass the same content that I heard by Srila Prabhupada. So I'll read the shloka. Thank you, Prabhuji. गोपी यदादित्वयि कृता गशीदमत्व या ते दशाश्रुकलिलञ्जना सम्भ्रमाक्षम् वक्त्रं निन्याभयभावनायस्ति तिष्ठस्य सा मां विमोहयतिभिरपि याद्विभेति. So this is Kunti Maharani's 31st shlok, 14th prayer. I'll read the translation. My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. So when I started reading this, the first thing that came to my mind after I read the translation was Kartik month. It's like Namam Ishwaram Sachidananda Rupam, the entire Aarti that we do every day. In that Aarti also you'll see every aspect of this Leela is described very beautifully, how Krishna's eyes are, how his earrings are, shark-shaped earrings, and how he's crying. Or the entire Leela is there in that Kirtan. That was just my first instant realization. And then I went to hear Prabhupada's lecture, which was much more than what I have just understood in the first attempt. So here, Srila Prabhupada is trying. So in this Leela, we all know what exactly happened. Krishna was breaking the pots of Makhan, and out of which Yashoda Ma was unhappy, and she ran to tie him so that she can bound him. There were two reasons: so that he doesn't go here and there and do more chaotic things, and also to like punish when you do something wrong. Mothers generally teach kids a lesson. So in that manner she was trying to bind him. And how Prabhupada tried to teach us so many things from this shloka was amazing. So I will just try to say what I understood by him. So first thing that Prabhupada was saying that one thing that we can see over here is opulence, and that is the beauty. So we all know that Krishna is the most opulent person. He has six opulences. He's has the most wealth, most strength, most influence, most knowledge. He's the most renunciated, and he's the most beautiful. So Prabhupada was pointing out about the beauty opulence over here. So he said, like, what is Kunti Maharani is looking at this scene, and she's loving this scene that is going on where Yashodama is trying to tie Krishna, um, and so one may ask, why do you feel that it is beautiful? A child is crying, the mother is trying to punish. But the way Prabhupada explains that how a devotee will see it. So first point that he pointed out is that God, like Lord, is Anor Aniyan Mahato Mahiyan. He's smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest. So we have to know that we are Anu and we always stay Anu, small. There is no way of us getting in any form big. And Krishna is Vibhu, who is the biggest, but he can be still smaller than the smallest. So this kind of amazing power only and only the Lord can have, Krishna. So he also said, like, when we go to the temple, we pay our obeisance to Lord Krishna, and we are in complete awe and reverence. We never go and say, "Come here, Krishna. Now let me tie you with a rope. You have been very naughty." Why? Because we do not have that audacity in us. How can we? We know his opulence, how opulent Krishna is. How can we? But he's saying that here Yashoda Maya is a perfect devotee, and she can definitely do it. Uh, when Yashoda Maya is here, Krishna's mother, but we all know that Krishna brings only his best devotees to play leelas with him. So Yashoda Maya here is the best devotee. And this is why she has the benefit of even getting angry on Krishna. Like, we are always in awe and reverence. Can we even think of getting angry on Krishna? But Mother Yashoda is getting angry on Krishna as a mother in a very motherly form. So she has that leverage because Prabhupada was pointing out that what a perfect devotee Yashodama is. And Kunti Maharani, right now, when she's singing these prayers, she's admiring this beautiful vision of immense love Yashodama has for Krishna. Here we also see that when I discussed a previous shlok where, yeah, I'll just go back to that shlok and tell. Couple of weeks ago, I got an opportunity to discuss about one more shlok. It was the third prayers. Tatha param hamsanam muninam amalatmanam bhakti yoga vidhanartham katham pashyena hi striya. So in this, what the understanding was, Kunti Maharani is also as good as Yashoda Ma, because she is Krishna's bhua, she is Vasudev's sister. So she is also having that same status, like mother, like in when we see back in our relationships, our bhuas that we have, we still pay obeisances to them, we respect them. So in the same manner, what we learned from that shloka was Kunti Maharani also had the same position. And in this shloka, Kunti Maharani says that she is much exalted devotee than me, that she is at that position where she can actually, Yashodama is the she, that she can actually get angry with you, upset also with you, tie you down, punish you, like, just like it's motherly love. Whereas Kunti Maharani, because she knows all the opulences of Krishna, she will never she will never get angry with Krishna. So here Prabhupada used the sentence like, Kunti Devi would never dare to be angry with Krishna because she is aware of all the opulences of Krishna. So, So yeah, but Yashoda Ma is given this privilege in the sense that she could approach Krishna with anger also for his naughtiness only. She is such an advanced devotee. Prabhupada also discussed one more example when, as we are talking about the beauty opulence, Prabhupada also discussed saying Krishna is known as Madan Mohana. So Madan is Cupid, and Mohana is like the one who enchants the Cupid. So we know the Cupid is a thing, a person who enchants us. And Madan Mohana is a person who can enchant even that Cupid. So Prabhupada went on saying that, but Krishna, he is enchanted by Radharani. So he said that this description I really, really love. He said that Radharani is called as Madan Mohana Mohini, Cupid, and then enchants, enchanter. So he said like Madan Mohan Mohini, which was, I really liked it. This is a very exalted spiritual understanding in Krishna conscious for devotees when we are discussing this scenario where Yashoda Ma is tying down Krishna. So to understand this, um, just a minute. Okay. So here Prabhupada was saying that here because Yashoda Ma is getting this privilege because she loves Krishna, because she knows Krishna is her child. So even if we people can argue that this chance, this opportunity, this privilege was given only to Yashoda Ma and it cannot be given to us. But Prabhupada was describing that no, you can definitely get this chance. You can also be like that, but for that you have to have intense love for Krishna, just like you have for your child. Like for example, how intense love, like I have love for my child, example Aradhya, in such a way that I'm not asking any favor in return. I don't want her to love me back for I love her. I just love her. So similarly, Prabhupada was explaining if you can love Krishna to that level, then even you can get that privilege. But for that, you have to reach that level. We were reminded of Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. So this is that place where one should render transcendental loving service to Lord without desire of material profit or gain. So Prabhupada was specifying that we should love Krishna without any conditions applied. Like if you give me proper food and house, Krishna, I will love you. If you give me a good job, Krishna, I will love you. Or Krishna, if you give me a good girl to get married, then I will love you. These conditions applied are not should not be there. If they are there, then obviously your love is not as exalted. So you have to love Krishna just like how you would love your own child in this material world. So now here, when we see that Krishna in this Leela, when Krishna saw Mother Yashoda coming to him with a rope to bind him, he was petrified. He was scared. So this is kind of an irony that Krishna was scared. How can Krishna be scared? Krishna is not scared of anybody. People as demons are scared of Krishna, but he was scared. So this irony, Kunti Devi is appreciating. She's loving to watch this. Now, and then Krishna is telling Yashodama that he is very, very sorry for whatever he did, and please forgive him. And then he immediately bows his head down. This scene, when Kunti Maharani is thinking about, she is really appreciating this. Now, why is Kunti Maharani appreciating that Krishna is bowing his head down? So, because Prabhupada described, although he's the supreme personality of Godhead, he puts himself in control of Yashoda. Why Yashoda? Because she's such an exalted, amazing devotee. When we give so much love to Krishna, he is very, very merciful. He comes in your control. There are people who say कि हम भगवान को कौन काबू में कर सकता है? Devotee कर सकता है अपने प्यार से. So this is what I understood from this discussion and talking that. And I don't know that shloka very nicely, so I will just read it out. मता मता परा तरम नन्येत किंचिद अश्ते धनंजया माई शर्वम इदम प्रोतम sture mani gana iva. So there is what is the essence? Why am I trying to bring it over here? Is there is no truth superior than me. This is what Krishna is telling in this shloka 7.7. So there is nothing superior than me. He's claiming, he said that already in Bhagavad Gita several times. But still, that superior personality is bowing his head down in front of Ma Yashoda. Why? Because of the amazing love that he gets from Mother Yashoda, that he is only completely surrendered. Thank you, Prabhuji. मतः मतः परतरं नन्यात् किंचिद अस्ति धनंजया मायि सर्वम idam प्रोक्तम shutre mani gana iva. I am not very good in, I did not know the shloka very well. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everyone rests upon me as pearl strings on thread. So here he very clearly says that no truth superior to me. Nobody is superior to me, and still he's surrendering, kind of, he's bowing his head down. So that sight really pleases Kunti Maharani. Now, when Mother Yashoda sees Krishna like that, she's not very happy. Like, take for an example, us in material world. I'll take my example. When I'm trying to discipline Aradhya, and if she's listening to me, fine. But if she starts crying, there is something in my heart that melts, and I'm like, oh, zyada ho gaya, right? And this is, I think, most of the mothers can relate to this. We go through this. So Yashoda Ma got a little unhappy because she didn't want to have Krishna to be scared of her in any way. That's not what she was trying to do. But then that's when, like, she also has that intense love that, okay, I'm like, don't cry so much, it's fine. So this scene is appreciated by pure devotees because this shows the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who plays a perfect child. So here he's being like, when he's in the role of a child, a baby, he's doing it so perfectly. When he's in the role of a husband, he's such a perfect husband to so many gopis, to whom he's married. Then he's such a perfect lover to all the gopis of Vrindavan. And then he's such a perfect friend to all the gopas in Vrindavan he's had. Nobody can be better than him in all these categories. He's perfect when he's doing whatever scene he's put into. And if you see the gopas in Vrindavan, they are completely dependent on him. Prabhupada also mentioned a couple of leelas that happened, like, for example, the Dhenukasur story. So the gopas wanted to taste the talavan fruits, and for that, Krishna and Balram had to fight Dhenukasur and his other donkey friends, and they did it. And they got those fruit for all the gopas just in like minute. It doesn't matter. It is not a big deal for Krishna, right? And then the fire was there in the forest where all his gopa friends were stuck, and they called out for Krishna, please help us. And Krishna just swallowed the fire. Similarly, there are so many other leelas that has happened. Aghasur, Bakasur, then Trinavat, like anything, any problem is there, Krishna will just come to rescue. He's always there. So they are so much dependent on Krishna. So when, like, Prabhupada was talking about, imagine when they must be going home, they tell their own mothers, Mom, Krishna is amazing. He defeated this demon today. He's wonderful. And then this story would be talked about all over in Vrindavan. And people would come over and tell Yashodama, my God, your son is amazing, wonderful. And when Nand Maharaj's friends would talk to him, you have an extraordinary child. He just defeated a demon. Amazing. There was nothing beyond that. because they love Krishna so much. So they don't go on to thinking, oh, this is Bhagavan, we should obey him, obeisance. No, because they love him so much, it's not important to them. They would not think that he is God. Prabhupada also said that sometimes some people would say, maybe we think he is some demigod. And here also they would put a maybe. They're not sure. They're just like assuming. Because this factor would not come in between the love that they had for Krishna. So Prabhupada was saying that they had the purest form, the Vrindavan Vasis, all the gopis, gopas, the elderly mother gopis, everybody over there had intense, amazing love for Krishna, very, very pure. And the fact that he's a god would not put them in awe and reverence, because that's not how they thought of him. Every time Krishna would go outside, kill a demon very casually, come home, and Mother Yashoda would be like, "Oh, you are just my little cute son. Like, it's okay. Are you okay?" This they would not go beyond it. Yeah, right now, if kids will kill a bug outside, we'll be like, "Oh, hotel, 10 people outside. See how strong he is." So that is really amazing. Here, Prabhupada is saying that Vrindavan Vasis are equal to perfect devotees. They are equal to first-class devotees ever possible. So he was stressing that here we should learn from them how a devotee should be. So here, when we try to understand Krishna, so Prabhupada was saying understanding Krishna is not very easy thing. You just cannot understand Krishna. It's very difficult. So, for example, material scientists always say that stars are all sun. Like all the stars that we see at night, they are all suns, far away, but they are sun. And the Vedic literature says that moon is a star. To prove what the Vedic literature says, Krishna said it in Bhagavad Gita, Shloka 10.21. In Shlok 10.21, Krishna said, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutasya Stitha Aham Adhischa Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Sorry, I'm so sorry. This is Kalyug memory. I'm so sorry. Shlok 10.21. Adityanam Aham Vishnu Jyotisham Ravir Amshunam Marichir Marutam Ashmi Nakshatranam Aham Sashi. So here, why am I pointing out this shloka? Because in this shloka, the translation perfectly says, among the stars, I am the moon. Oh, thank you, Prabhuji. Among the stars, I am the moon. So this completely proves what is written in Vedic literature is actually right. It says that means moon is also one of the stars, right? This is what Vedic literature is saying. So here Prabhupada was explaining what is the general nature of moon. The work of a moon is to reflect the light from the sun. And in Vedic literature, there are severals and severals of sun. But every universe has its own sun, just one sun per universe. So there is so much we don't know. We cannot learn very easily about this universe. There is so much we cannot see because obviously we have such imperfect senses. Nothing works properly. It's just very bewildering, illusionary. So it's huge. We don't have that perfect vision to understand this entire universe. So Prabhupada was saying, then how are we going to understand Krishna, who created this universe in first place? So here, Krishna is saying in Shlok 7. So this I actually found. I don't know if it is a perfect relevance, but in Shlok 7.3, in the purport, I found something today which I thought makes sense, that it is already there in our Shastra. It is there from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि ना भावेत ह्रयम इंद्रियाय शेवन मुखे ही जीवादो स्वयं एवा स्फूर्ति अदा. No one can understand Krishna as he is by blunt material sense. but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving services unto them. So here we find in Bhagavad Gita itself that Krishna is saying, I'm not very easy to understand, but only people who love me dearly, I will disclose myself to them. So this I found in 7.3. This was there in the translation. And then there is also one more shlok that I could think of. There are not many shloks I know, but then this is one shlok that I could think of. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mamatu vedana kaschana. In this shloka, Krishna is saying, "O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows." So Krishna is saying that no one knows me because it is very, very difficult to understand him. So how are we going to understand him when Krishna is saying? So here Prabhupada is saying the best attitude that was there was by all the Vrindavan Vasis. They just loved him. They just loved him. It was complete unalloyed love. There was no awe and reverence coming in between. They were not thinking, oh, because he is God, I have to love him. That was not the case. They just loved him. So here, Prabhupada was stressing that this is a pure love that can be there, and this is how a attitude of a bhakt, of a devotee should be. And there are many things that we can learn from the Vrindavan Vasis. Here, Kunti Maharani, she is seeing this, and she is not a Vrindavan Vasi, right? She was from Hastinapur. And here, the devotees outside Vrindavan study how great the inhabitants of Vrindavan are. But the inhabitants of Vrindavan don't care how great Krishna is. This is the difference between them, he's saying. So our concern should be simply to love Krishna. Here, Krishna explains himself in Bhagavad Gita that we should not try to understand him too much. We should not bother very much to know Krishna because it is absolutely impossible. It is not doable. We simply should increase our unalloyed love for Krishna, and that is the only perfection of life. And that's how Prabhupada ended his session on this shloka, and it really made me understand more than the only thing I could think about was Namam Ishwaram Sachidananda Rupam. So it is a very good way of understanding how Kunti Maharani was looking at this scene and how beautiful, like there are things that I would have not thought of, obviously, me being such a shallow person. But it was very good when I went through this, and I really thank Atul Prabhu for giving me this opportunity, because when he gives us this opportunity and whatever I learn, so that I can present it to you all, I think it stays with me. And also I learn very thorough because I don't want to let so many of you all down. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. And if I made any mistakes, please, I'm really sorry. That's my very limited understanding that I have. Hare Krishna.